Today, we embark on a journey into one of the most profound and tragic chapters in American history, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Join me as we explore this pivotal event, unveiling intricate details and the names of those who played a role in this historic drama. The date was November 22, 1963, and Dallas basked in the warmth of a crisp autumn morning. President John F. Kennedy and the First Lady, Jacqueline Kennedy, graced the city with their presence. They were joined by Texas Governor John Connally and his wife, Nellie Connally, in a gleaming open-top convertible. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement, as the president waved to adoring crowds, and the clock inched toward destiny. The echoes of those shots haunt us still. At 12:30 p.m. precisely, the tranquil Dealey Plaza was rocked by gunshots that disrupted the serenity of the day. President Kennedy was wounded in the back, and a bullet also struck his throat, making him unable to speak. Then, tragically, he was fatally struck in the head. Governor Connally, seated just in front of the president, suffered wounds of his own. 3 bullets tore through him, striking his ribs, wrist, and thigh. The pain was excruciating, and the shock of the moment left Connally and the nation in disbelief. At 12:36 p.m. the first news wire service announcement of the shooting was broadcast, breaking the tranquility of the day. In the heart of Dealey Plaza, the ordinary became extraordinary.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin from ABC Radio. Here is a special bulletin from Dallas, Texas. 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade today in downtown Dallas, Texas. This is ABC Radio. To repeat, in Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade today, the president now making a 2-day speaking tour of Texas. We're going to stand by for more details on the incident in Dallas. Stay tuned to your ABC station for further details. Now we return you to your regular program.
Amid the chaos and panic, Jacqueline Kennedy's bravery and anguish shone through. At 12:38 p.m., she held her husband's body in her arms, her clothes stained with his blood. In her grief, she uttered the haunting words, "They've murdered my husband." These words echoed the shock and heartbreak felt not only by her but by a nation. Amid the chaos and panic, heroes emerged from the crowd. Secret Service agents Clint Hill and Roy Kellerman rushed to shield the President and First Lady, displaying exceptional courage in the face of danger. Nearby, Abraham Zapruder, an amateur cameraman, recorded the traumatic events on his 8mm film, creating an enduring record of that fateful day. The motorcade raced to Parkland Memorial Hospital, where a team of doctors and nurses, including Dr. Charles Red Duke, worked frantically to save the president's life. Yet, at 1 p.m., John F. Kennedy, the vibrant and charismatic leader, was pronounced dead. The news reverberated across the nation and the world, marking the first assassination of a U.S. president in over 6 decades.
President John F.
President John F. Kennedy.
President Kennedy died at
President Kennedy died at approximately 1 o'clock today, here in Dallas. He died of a gunshot wound to the brain. I have no other details regarding the assassination of the president.
In the ensuing chaos, Lee Harvey Oswald emerged as the prime suspect. A complex individual with a controversial past, Oswald was captured later that day. Tragically, he had also fatally shot a Dallas police officer, J.D. Tippit, who had bravely confronted him for questioning. But the twisted tale took another turn just 2 days later, on November 24, 1963, when Oswald's life met a dark fate. He was shot and killed by nightclub owner Jack Ruby while in police custody. This shocking act only added layers of intrigue to an already complex narrative. In a quest for answers and clarity, the U.S. government established the Warren Commission, led by Chief Justice Earl Warren, to investigate the assassination. Their exhaustive report, released in 1964, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone when he fired those fatal shots from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository, using a Mannlicher Carcano rifle. Two hours after the assassination of President Kennedy, at 2:38 p.m., on Air Force One, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as the 36th President of the United States. A somber and historic moment, this ceremony took place with Jacqueline Kennedy by his side, still bearing the bloodstains from her husband's tragic death. In a gesture of national unity and continuity, President Johnson insisted that Mrs. Kennedy stand beside him during the solemn ceremony, a poignant reminder of the nation's grief and resilience. On November 24, 1963, President Kennedy's funeral cortege moved from the White House to the Capitol, echoing the grandeur of Abraham Lincoln's funeral at Mrs. Kennedy's request. 250,000 people gathered to pay their respects, a testament to the deep sense of loss felt by the American people. On November 25, 1963, President Kennedy was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. The funeral was attended by representatives from more than 100 countries, a global tribute to the fallen leader. It was a day of somber reflection, a moment when the world came together to mourn the loss of a visionary leader. Despite the official findings, the President Kennedy assassination remains a subject of controversy and intrigue. A multitude of conspiracy theories persist, suggesting that Oswald may not have acted alone, and that shadowy individuals or groups could have been involved. These theories often point to perceived inconsistencies and gaps in the official investigation, raising questions about the possibility of a larger conspiracy. The Kennedy assassination continues to captivate the public imagination, with countless books, documentaries, and films exploring its multifaceted dimensions. As we remember this tragic event, let us honor the memory of John F. Kennedy and his enduring legacy. His clarion call for public service, civil rights, and international diplomacy remains a guiding light for America. May we never forget the profound impact of that day in Dallas and continue to seek the truth about this pivotal moment in the history.